Hello, 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 hello. It's Tuesday night and I've got some beer. I'm gonna play some Kerbal right here. Yes, hello everyone. I've no idea what I'm doing there, but at least I have the microphone levels turned up because frequently I make that mistake right at the start. And it would have been a shame if my bad use of those controls had somehow robbed you of that experience in life. No, we get to share that with the world, and I hope I hear you all applauding out there. No, seriously, applaud because I'm gonna get mad. I'm gonna do bad things. No. Anyway, tonight, yes, Pliny the Elder. Pliny the Elder. There we go. Oh, I'm not going to be pillaging Nuka World. No, I'm not going to be playing Fallout tonight. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. Actually, I got a bunch of things going on. Actually, I was thinking maybe I could continue working on my VTOL capture system, or I was thinking I could make an elevator which flies to space, or I was thinking maybe I could try setting some time record for, say, a trip to Duna and back. That would be kind of fun. I'm still 12,000 light years away from the alien ship. I've been flying home, and if you check my Twitter, you can see some nice little animations here and there of things flying across space in my asp. Oh, pardon me, just belching a little there. Whew. Start game. Well, that's what I was thinking. A moment of silence for Gene Wilder, great man. Which, of course, the moment of silence happened before we flew. And maybe, as an homage to the end of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, we could build an elevator which flies. Right? Because that would be total Willy Wonka wonkiness. I think we should definitely do the elevator. Willy Wonka's... Wonka Kerman? I don't know. Didymus Fishing Flat. What was the one that I tried? Insanity. Oh, we still have this racing one here. Oh my god, you know what I should do? Hold on. I've got a thing that I need to do. I've just got an idea. Pardon me. October... I'm just going to look at the ships, spaceplane hangar. Let's just grab all of these, except for the autosaved ship. Yeah, let's do that. Copy these, and come up to saves, racing, ships, spaceplane hangar, and V. Skip this file. Okay, yeah, because there's something I haven't done yet. We should try this. Do I watch baseball? Sometimes. Only when my team are basically winning. Time control. I don't need you right now. Warp rate. Attitude. Use curb in time. Reset warp rates. Is there a way to set like 0.5? This isn't the time control plugin I was looking for. I'm so very disappointed. Is that it? Can I do fractional times? Warp rate minus? Warp rate plus? No. Okay, never mind. I want to have slow-mo. Never mind. Let's hide that. So we still have this racetrack here, and I realize that I was building this epic flying submarine thing, but we haven't actually tried flying it around my racetrack, so we should totally try flying the Red October, the Red Scotch-tober, the Red Nottober around this course. What do we have? VTOL. The VTOL-tober. That was a fun one. Super. There's all these planes I tried to build to go around the course fast. October. How about Most Kerbal for sure? Let's see this one. What does it look like? Oh yes. This looks like it might be playing the part. Now let's just check center of thrust, center of mass, center of lift. Center of lift is behind the center of mass. So this should be able to try flying around that course, but boy, it's going to have some fun trying to fly through those gates. Yes, I know. Here's the thing. So SSS Jack is saying, hey, his friend made a joke about him always killing Kerbals, and it's true that, and then his friend got a copy, and within 10 minutes he had killed everyone. I think that this may not work. This may not work just so well. Oh! Oh yeah, of course. Inverted controls. Ah, that was my problem. I did build that one when it was still super heavy, so now it is faster. Oh, that's great. Launch. What's my favorite team? My favorite team is either the Giants, the A's, or the Red Sox, depending upon which ones are actually playing who. Long story, basically I live in Oakland, so obviously the A's are important. I work in San Francisco, so the Giants are important, and my wife's family is all from Boston, so of course the Red Sox are very important. But actually, I had a lot of friends in San Francisco who like the Red Sox, because Red Sox are special. Okay. Not quite. Get this thing in the air now. Let's see. Can I get it through the gate? Oh. Okay. Okay, it only appears to be able to turn that way. Come on! Oh! I'm amazed that thing actually survived. Okay, maybe we should take off some wings. Why is there a white line that is flashing on the side of the screen? Is there a white line? Because it's not showing up here. So I guess what I need to do is make these wings a little narrower. Like, very narrower. Let's shrink them way down. Okay, save that. And what I probably should do is make sure my control surfaces are assigned. Yeah, they're all assigned to everything there. Bad plan. Okay, so that should be roll. That one should... Oh, actually, that one should be roll. I got these backwards. Roll. Okay, and then... These ones should be pitch. And these ones should be yaw. And never the twain shall meet. Okay, let's try launching this. It's the nuclear bomb powered thing, and we're going to try air racing with it. I forgot about that line. Yes. Look at me, soaring through the air as majestically as an eagle, piloting a blimp. The tailplane needs to be that big because we have nuclear weapons in it. Let's actually control from here. Control from here. Okay. Oh, come on. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, crap, and we still missed it. Okay, but that's fine, because we're not having nearly as much lift on that wing. So we clipped our wings a little. First of all, I gotta make the monolith turn. Wow, this thing turns like a nuclear-powered submarine being powered by nuclear bombs. Okay, turn harder. I think maybe I need to adjust the center of mass. Just a bit. Its turn radius is... Look, it's turning at about 5 Gs. Maybe I can throttle down a bit. Maybe that'll help. Okay, well, technically we've made that gate, but we still have to make the gate over the launch pad. The launch pad gate, if you remember, was the water tower and the flagpole and... Well, that's surprisingly so tough, actually. Like how this thing skids for like a mile before stopping. Maybe I can make this slightly more agile. Okay. So, Let's see if I can add some more wing surface here. Length, width at the root, width at the tip. Let's make that longer. Okay. Let's take a look at the aerodynamic overlay and that. And then let's move. Let's take these and move them forwards, right? 2 of these here. Stability. 2 of them. Okay. Working on it. If we just add a little more length to these, we can probably make it thing. And actually, I think what I'll do is I'm going to shrink the length of this wing because... Oh, wait, yeah, let's take that and move it in. I mean, basically, we need to make this fit through the gates. And we also need to make it turn harder and faster. The other thing I could do, of course, is take these tail wings and duplicate those. So just add more tails to it all. There. Okay. That should give us a whole lot more power. Save and launch. It's an Orion-powered submarine plane, yes. That's what it is. It's nuclear weapons, it's a nuclear sub, and it's some wings on it. And this is the air racing course that we built and I challenged people to fly through, and of course everybody ended up getting better times than me, and I felt really embarrassed and held my head in, hung my head in shame. Not held my head in shame. I was like, really? I can't possibly show up. I cannot possibly claim to be any good at what I do if I can't do this. Oh, look at that. Far more agile. Now we might be able to do this course. We just need to make sure we hit those gates correctly. Whoa. Whoa. Oh. Okay. Technically, I'm supposed to be below the level of these gates, but in practice, I will probably die if I do that. Oh, some low-level flying here. Oh, no. This thing has a fair bit of inertia, you might have noticed. Okay. Oh, this turn! Overshooting. Whoa. Okay, now, technically I have to go through this gate, but you know what? I ain't gonna do that. That ain't gonna happen. I just flew over that gate, right? We're not making that happen, I'm sorry. Oh, no. I should probably turn off the engines, right? I like how the nukes are like different colors because, hey, they're nuclear explosions and we want them to look cool. Okay, we're going to try this one more time. You think it needs Orion-powered reaction control thrusters. That is a good idea, but no. That would just make it really ridiculous. I was going to build like a VTOL that used Orion engines. Okay, oh, and once again, need to control from here, throttle down. Okay, throttling back just a bit, and now get through the gate. Oh, look at that. I love the way that it practically power slides through some of these corners. Nuclear fireworks, of course they're safe. I thought it was quite impressive the way I actually made that corner over the landing pad. Or made that gate, which is probably too narrow. Let's see if I can actually do it properly. Get between them, and... Yes! And... Bang! Hard! Turn hard, turn hard, turn hard! It's that one is incredibly hard to do. Okay, we're gonna turn... Oh, crap! Destroy both. Whoa! Wow! I also like the way this gate is still standing because, you know, physics. Okay, one more go at this. One more go. One more go. We're totally going to make this happen. We powered this one with jet engine. Oh, you know, maybe we should load the jet engine version. We'll not do that just yet. Look, we had a jet engine version of this, which... control from here, where we actually had VTOL capabilities. We did that a couple of weeks ago, and it was glorious. Except for the fact that Sky was continually poking stuff in my ear and things like that. Okay, throttle down a bit. Does it actually tell me how much thrust this is generating? No, okay. Just lift up, and... turn. Okay, there, let's try and keep this. Keep this at the correct altitude. Yeah, the people that ended up doing this course super fast, I was just like, totally blown away by their mad skills. Okay. Okay, so I've totally overshot that gate. Which means gate 3, which is technically over the over the launch pad. I've totally missed that one. Okay. Let's see if I can just kinda get it. Yes, I still made gate 3. Now this one I've kinda missed completely. Coming up high! So this would totally not be legal in actual air racing rules. Okay. Let's see if I can keep this thing, how long I can keep this thing airborne. Look at... Throttle to 100%! Oh, man. And we still survive. Okay, anyway, that was silly. Let's go back and let's actually try to do something useful. Okay. Okay, so I'm coming back out to this, quick to main menu. Air racing, doesn't air racing have a have an exception to the comprehensive test ban treaty? That is a good question. Start new. Let's do this. Duna fast. Start. Okay. The drink tonight is the legendary, the special, the Pliny, the Elder. Okay, so let's take a look at the configuration of the solar system, the Kerbal system. From here, so there. Wait a second. Oh yeah, we have Didymos here, right? That's Duna there. So I reckon the fastest way to get there is to go like over here. That might be a little fast. Of course, maybe I should try speedrun to Eve. That's what I'll do. Speedrun to Eve, because that's actually... I never noticed this, but when the game starts up, the inner planets are actually all aligned in a straight line. Yeah, let's try and figure out a way to get to Eve fast. The goal is to put a spacecraft on the surface of Eve. No, Pliny the Younger is only brewed like once a year, but Pliny the Elder is brewed all year round, but it is an always in very short supply. Okay, so we need a lander spacecraft, so I guess we'll go with as light a thing as possible. The Probodine. Does this have stability control? It has a reaction wheel. Yep, and okay, that's a good place to start. Note that I don't have a vehicle assembly building because we have removed its limits for they interfere with the great plans that I have. So to make this thing slow down, we're obviously going to need to make this thing land, we're going to need parachutes. And we're probably going to need some solar panels and stuff like that. But we got to figure out on how to get it through Eve's atmosphere and make it stop. That's the first important thing to know. Am I allowing myself to use cheats? No, because I've done this with cheats and it's super easy. Anybody can use cheats and get this thing fast. So the rule is I'm going to try and get to Eve as quickly as possible. And I'm trying to just use the stock parts. Even though I've got a ton of parts here, we just kind of want to focus on the stock parts. Now I'm just wondering, do you think the 10-meter heat shield might actually work? We could do that. The giant inflatable heat shield, because we could just pile into the atmosphere really fast. Heat shield, 10 meters. I like the look of this. We could also scale it up as well. I think that's going to be our lander. Okay, I'm going to see how well that works. And so below that, we're going to need a decoupler. So the idea is we're basically going to fly to Eve super fast. Yeah, don't worry. Please don't post links. It's not. It will never be accepted because I simply don't have the time to monitor chat. And it's nothing personal, and I'm sure some of those links are absolutely fantastic. But if you really want to share links with me, it's best to do it using Twitter, because I'm actually on Twitter and actually use Twitter and things like that. And I may even retweet your greatness and say, look at this awesome link this person posted. Really, I might. Okay. Yeah, Quake. Quake 4. That Nightbot is a bot. It has nothing to do with. It's not something that you can reason with. It absolutely will not stop. It has no sense of humor. It is doing everything that I need it to. Okay, so let's actually put some engines on this thing. Let's put the Terrier. So that actually, let's bring up Mech Jab and Delta V stats, because we need as much Delta V as possible. So that's going to be 3 kilometers per second. That is really crap. I'm sorry, we need more Delta V than that. How about I put 2 of these on? How will that look? 4 kilometers per second. Wow, that's really crap. Well, let's put the verniers on. So, how many of you watched the video that I did from Planet about the CubeSats? Because I'm really curious as to how people like that. Okay, so this, and then... Actually, I don't... Why am I doing this? No, I should go nuclear. Nuclear power! Liquid fuel fuselage. That's the way to go. Oh, bingo. Yes. Yes! Yes! I'm gonna put a little reaction wheel here. Reaction wheel. Man, there's all these bits and pieces here and there and everywhere. Reaction wheel, which means we actually need proper solar panels on this thing. I'm just like totally designing this as I go along. Forgive me for not really having a clue. It's just how it is. I'm sure that'll be fine for powering this thing. Then we need the nuclear power. Nuclear power. Okay, so that gives me 10 kilometers per second. Okay. things are all relative. Let's see. Oh, is their project stalled? Apparently they got a big bunch of money from an actual venture capitalist. Someone, that's what I read. That doesn't sound stalled to me. I was over at American Steel a couple of months ago, and I didn't see them, but I saw, exploding onions, which was pretty cool, if you ask me. Okay, we're gonna need some thermal radiator type things, and I never. Ooh, these are new ones. Radiator panels, edge, large. Let's put a couple of larges on there. Well, yes, that ought to work. How many of these do I need? Let's do this. Yes. That should keep these things. There, we'll have 2 of these. And we'll have a wonderful cooling system with all its power and everything. Twin small panels should do it. Okay. I'll just do that then. And that should be enough power to keep this thing alive. Honestly, I think actually... Oh, I don't need that. There will be fine with just that amount of power. Seriously. Okay. Eve... fast. See, I'm hoping that this thing will slow me down sufficiently well during descent and not actually die. Okay, so we need to get this up into space, and we need to figure out how to make a beeline for Eve. Okay, this, and then we're gonna use like 3-meter fairing under aerodynamics. And before I start building that, I'm going to put on the struts. Strut your funky, funky stuff. Strut your funky stuff. It says strut your funky stuff. So anyway, yeah, interesting news, of course, from SpaceX this morning. We're basically confirming that they are going to be... They've found a customer, a trailblazer, who will take their... who will use their used rocket, or as they like to call it, flight proven. Which is, I think, of course, is exactly what you would say. Let's build this fairing. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of my rocket. And there we go. So that's my fairing, and now we need to put this on top of a proper big rocket. Again, we could use non-standard parts, but I want to use standard parts. Okay. So... What am I looking for here? I'm looking for the vacuum engine for the 3-meter, and I can never remember what it's called. But I'd know it when I see it. Unless, of course, I've installed some mod that changes the way that it looks. In which case, I will never see it, and I will be looking around here and saying, "Where is this darn thing? Someone's moved it to make me look foolish." And I am foolish. There it is there, right? Foolish man that I am. This rocket is for going places fast. We're trying to get to Eve, and we're trying to get there in the least amount of time from the game start. Oh, it's called a Bohr engine. Yes, that's right. So that second stage gets me 2 kilometers per second, so that should get me into space. And then we're going to build some more stuff here. Yep, 1.17. That is excellent. So we're just going to build this thing out. So yeah, once again, I'm going to remind people that September 22nd, I'm speaking at the Dent Space conference event, San Francisco. It's free to attend if you get the early tickets, I believe. It might actually be free forever, but check it out. There's a lot of other people that are way cooler than me at this. But I'm going to be there saying, hey, you guys should take video games seriously as a way of teaching people because, you know, even Benjamin Franklin thought it was a good idea. Seriously, somebody quoted me this thing from Ben Franklin, and I was like, wow, is that for real? He was like, tell me and I shall forget. Teach me and I will learn. I will, you know, remember, and involve me and I will learn. And I was like, man, that is so true of Kerbal Space Program. Yeah, I was at Planet Labs or whatever, and I was talking with someone, and they were talking about how they spread the satellites through the orbit by increasing the drag. And the person started saying, it was like, well, of course, you know, if we want them to go forwards, we reduce the amount of drag by turning the satellite panels around. And I was like, wait, no, you've got this wrong. You've got to increase the drag if you want to go faster, right? Because increasing the drag drops you down. But it's so funny, like even people that work in the business that know this stuff, that should know this stuff, make this mistake. It's like, it's totally not accidental. It's really fascinating to see that happening. Okay, drag this down here. And of course, we're going to do the asparagus. Do the asparagus. Asparagus. Okay, 1.9, 1.5, and then we'll put some aerodynamics on the nose here. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's a bug. I forgot that fairings don't work so well when you try to mirror them. So we should do this other trick that we usually do, where we go from one of these to one of these, and then we go to the actual pointy one. Oh, that's not the Sputnik. Sputnik. There we go. That's the way we do it. Yeah, I'm just going to be talking about Kerbal Space Program and other things. If you see this, what is my favorite mod? My favorite mod, I think, is Infernal Robotics, because you can do all sorts of hilarious things with it. I really do like Infernal Robotics because they enhance the gameplay so much, and I really wish they would add Infernal Robotics to the stock game because it really changes so much. Definitely worth having. Like, anything that improves the gameplay, that adds gameplay, enhances things, is definitely among my favorites list. Having said that, I also think Banana for Scale was pretty hilarious. Also, I will be eternally grateful to Nyancat Mod for making my Easter much more fun. Okay, let's try putting some of these on. Yes, let's do this. And then let's put little boosters on the top just for separation. Okay. Sepatrons. I think this will do. We're just going to try and get there fast. Wait, are you going to see SpaceX launch the Iridium satellites from Vandenberg? So I thought that was going to happen for a while. My wife was booking a vacation for our anniversary, which is on the 20th. And she was all like, oh, let's stay at Pismo Beach. I love Pismo Beach. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then I looked at the launch schedule and was like, oh, honey, this is awesome. There's going to be a launch, like, on the same day that we're in Pismo, and at that point she was like, oh, there's going to be a launch. I think we're going to go to Russian River instead. It's like, no. Yeah, the fuel lines will be fine. You want me to do the fuel lines at the bottom to be, like, actually realistic? Layer. Okay, we'll do the realistic fuel lines. We'll run from here to here. There we go. See? Save. Okay, now we need to probably put some launch stuff on this. What is my thrust to weight ratio at launch is actually pretty lousy. 1.3. Is that for real? 1.3. Okay, so we need some big... Oh, also we need to straighten this out. God. Gosh darn it. There we go. That was my problem. Gonna put some extra boosters on the side just for for the first few seconds. Where have we got him? Where we got him? We got him somewhere. Let's actually do this. Structural. Structure. Your structure. I'm really terrible at finding things these days. I used to know where everything was, and then, you know, me playing other games, I've forgotten a lot of these things. Oh, that's interesting. That's totally going to be safe. Oh, wrong way. So now we have these firing at the same time, and then the first thing that's going to fire are these decouplers, and then these ones have to go in this stage. There, that'll be great. Save that. And then finally. So I honestly don't know the limits of the thermal protection, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to ride this thing into the atmosphere and do awesome things. Okay. I like how I started high enough that we're already halfway there. But notice we have a bit of a launch anomaly here. Yeah, we have... This is going to explode when I try launching it. Just wait. Are we ready? Let's just explode it so I can talk about how we're going to fix this. Come on! Let's see if I can get it upwards. Yes! That's good. Upwards. Okay, we're doing this. We're totally doing this. Also, I like how I only have one thing here. Somehow, I've only got one launcher. What the heck? Oh, Kerbal symmetry. How I love thee. We actually have two boosters here. Watch it. This is going to explode when I press space. Ready? Are we ready for this? You all ready for this? Da 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 da. I knew this wasn't going to end well. Okay, well, at least we can probably... okay, I was going to say, at least I can test something here. Come on! Yes, I am free to do what you want to do. And we want to get loaded. We want to have a good time. That's what we're going to do. Okay. Let's inflate the heat shield. Yes! Oh, wow. That is special. I like how that kind of goes sideways. I think I need to test this a little. That launcher was truly... The majesty of that launcher was hard to contain. Yeah. The flying saucer. This is... I don't know why aliens would come in flying saucers, because they don't fly very well. I think I should probably test this heat shield on descent. I'm just going to disable stability control to see if that will help things. Soon we're going to deploy the parachute. Maybe that will solve our problems. Oh, excellent. I think this might need more mass on it. What do you think? Look, totally works now. Okay. So, revert flight to vehicle assembly. We obviously got to fix our symmetry issues. Like, what are you doing there? Who gave you permission to do that? No, it's still doing that. Stupid thing. No, it still thinks that it wants... Okay, I'm going to switch it to the other side because symmetry... Sometimes if it's broken on one side, it works on the other. See that? So once again, I'll do this one and we'll try fixing that. There! Okay, so I guess we're going to try this heat shield on descent. Yeah, I think we need to have some heat shield. Oh yeah, have I heard about the strange signal coming from the HD 49 star? Seriously, yes I have. Okay. I've heard so much about it, and let me tell you, no astronomer is excited about this at this point. Nobody thinks that it's anything other than radio noise. But it would be cool if it wasn't. But odds are, it's just radio noise. My favourite headline said, SETI is checking out a signal at this star. This is not a drill. To which I realised that based upon the data we have, we can't definitively eliminate power tools as a source of interference in this case. Okay, let's just take this thing upwards and let's see if the staging works. Hey! Oh, excellent! Staging works! Beautiful! Okay, so actually, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep this thing going upwards. You need to move the center of drag back. I know we need to figure out on the exact thing, but what we're gonna do is do a test. We're going to take this thing up to altitude, and then we're going to flip it around and come back down. Yeah, alien power tools detected. No, I mean, like, all I'm saying is that a drill is a power tool which can generate noise. It probably wouldn't generate noise in that region of the spectrum, but point is, we don't really know, right? And people are making bold claims that have no basis in reality. Here we go. Firing. I'm going to test this descent mechanism, right? So we're going to count straight down. Yeah, it's Thargoids with bandsaws. Ah, dear. All I've just thought of is my terrible joke I would sometimes tell. Okay, here's a funny joke. What goes meow? There. The thing that... The punchline to the joke is a frozen cat going through a bandsaw. Ha! Okay. Thargoids with banjos. Yes, we should have Thargoids. Did anyone get to see the elite musical thing that was at was it the Edinburgh Fringe Festival? Okay. Okay, what it is, I should probably bring up Mech Jab, bring up the orbit info. Orbit info is going to go up to 600. We'll take it up to 1,000 kilometers, right? Of course, I could just hyper-edit this into position and see what happens. Okay, so we'll do... Let's just cut the thrust now. Oh, sorry, X, cut the thrust. And I'm going to deploy the fairing. Nice! Beautiful. Now, that means it's got at least some solar power coming in. So now, I'm going to try rotating it backwards. And this might take some time. I like how the electric charge is barely keeping up as we rotate the whole thing. Oh, SETI is totally legit. No, they do good research. I mean, they absolutely do good research, and they ask the really difficult questions, and I have no problem funding SETI. I think it's important if you look, or it's telling that if you talk to people that work in SETI, they're well aware of how incredibly remote what they're discussing may actually, how the odds of these things, right? And they don't think they need tons of money. They think there's many more important things they should do. Back in the 90s, the SETI screensaver thing, that stuff still works. SETI at home is still like a thing. Where am I getting my torque? I'm getting it from this reaction wheel here. There's a reaction wheel that I've inserted in there to make sure that I have the maximum capabilities. I just want to point it downwards, and then we're going to fire the thing again one more time. And then on the way back down, you're pretty sure the reaction wheels need to be on the other side of the heat shield? No. Actually, folding at home is an interesting one. I find the protein folding a fascinating demonstration of human intelligence. I mean, not the folding at home. I'm talking more about Fold It. That's the one where they actually let people, give it some hints, right? Give it some helps. They're pretty good. Humans actually are pretty good at noticing patterns that need to be fixed. When you see that computers are beating humans at chess and Go and things like that. Okay, there we go. Point it straight downwards and throttle up. So we're gonna... Okay, no. You're gonna go downwards. Just straight down. We don't want to miss this. There, just do that. The periaps is high enough. We'll do that. We're just going to keep it firing in that direction. And then we'll have a staging event. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, it was great for using a laptop. And I have to say, this computer, I am really hot right now. It's only 77 degrees, but down here with my computers, it is hot. There, we're going to add some more velocity to this thing. So the idea is we want to simulate a descent into the Evian atmosphere. And when I say Evian atmosphere, I mean that it's like mineral water and will, improve my health, I would hope. Well, I'm watching the periaps, and if it gets too high, then we will make adjustments, but not before then. Uh-huh. You were able to get a moon. Okay, direct lunar ascent. Yeah, okay, direct lunar ascent is obviously great when you only require 550 meters per second to get into orbit. In reality, it's a little harder. Okay, see, yeah, periaps is rising, but I think we're going to be okay. How is KSP in the console? It's not a great port, but it is better than not having Kerbal Space Program. It is a complete, faithful, and accurate recreation of the game, and I can't wait for them to fix the bugs which need fixed. Let me put it that way. I want to see what Kerbal Space Program looks like on the Wii U, and I suspect the performance will be not as good, but that's just simply because the Wii U doesn't have the same horsepower as the PlayStation. Although, to be fair, the Wii U, I think, actually has a relatively solid CPU in it. I'm not going to say that for sure, but I think it might not be as bad as people think. Let's see. Come on. The periaps is up to like 40. We're totally just going to skim in over the surface here. You're working on a Europa cinematic. That is fascinating. Okay, so we're going to arrive at this many kilometers per second. Let's try this. And let's activate the radiators. Activate the radiator. Okay, that should keep me warm for a little while. And the next thing will be, finally, to ditch this thing when we start getting close to our descent. I believe it's... Wait, why would you wish that No Man's Sky has Fahrenheit and not Celsius? Screw you, it should have Kelvin and be... Forget Fahrenheit and Celsius. Who cares about that? It's all about Kelvin. Amateur. Just kidding. Wii U is still using the power processor, yeah, because that is what the GameCube and that's what the... oh yeah, the Wii. Yes, the Wii U's. I mean, I have to say, I'm kind of feeling bad that they're basically announcing the end of the Wii U And I haven't bought one. It's the first Nintendo console I haven't bought since the Super Nintendo, which I happen to think the Super Nintendo was by far the best 16-bit console. In fact, for 2D games, it definitely had the best content by a long way. Okay. How are we doing? We're accelerating really slowly. I think what I need to do, we're at 400 kilometers, and I need to fire this separator. Oh, you know what I'm going to do, actually? Is I'm going to do this. Right, there we go. We want to make sure these things go the correct direction. Now I'm going to point retrograde. I'm going to inflate the heat shield. And we're going to see just if this thing will just flip out of control. Yeah, mate, Silent Searchlight is all like, Sega Mega Drive for the win. There's like 3 games in the Mega Drive that are worth having. Everything else is on the Super Nintendo and better. I'm sorry, I'm calling it. Right? Console Wars 1990 era is back. Right? Seriously. Favorite games on the Super Nintendo, like, you know, like the original, the 16-bit Zelda. Final Fantasy VI is the best Final Fantasy game ever made. Plock has some amazing music by Tim Follin, a man who has made some of the best chiptune music and for some reason no longer wants to be in the business. It is sad, but, you know, hey. Yeah. I'm trying to think what other awesome games. Oh, Star Fox! Holy crap, Star Fox was amazing! Seriously. I mean Final Fantasy 3, yes. I mean, in the West, it was renamed Final Fantasy 3, but in Japan, it was Final Fantasy 6, and the Western translation was done by a guy called Ted Woolsey, and it was awful. The fan translations of Final Fantasy 6 into English were vastly superior, and if you are a person that doesn't mind the questionable legality, I strongly advise you to go and look for the fan translations of Final Fantasy VI because they are superior in every way. There's a phone version, iOS version, Android version, which is okay, but many people don't like it because the sprite scaling looks awful and things like that. But if you've never played Final Fantasy VI, I'm telling you, Final Fantasy VI is the best Final Fantasy by a long, long way. Look at the G-forces coming in at 4 kilometers per second. That's pretty good. Woolsey was underrated. No, he was terrible. I like this. This thing is pretty good at high. Oh, look. Oh, did you see that thing flying past? This totally works. Yeah, the mobile versions have a number of features, and as I said, while a lot of people think the mobile versions have many problems, I'm going to point out, if you've never played Final Fantasy VI, it is one of the best JRPGs ever, and definitely, easily the best 2D sprite RPG. I don't have any problems with people abusing part clipping in Kerbal Space Program. That's par for the course. Okay, I think that worked very well. I like the fact that we've slowed to practically nothing at 20 kilometers up. Yeah, I still think the best Final Fantasy VI translations are fan translations that have kind of combined everything. Earthbound! Oh yes, Earthbound, yeah, another fantastic game on the Super Nintendo. Super Metroid, probably the definitive, Metroidvania. Obviously, I mean, yeah, Super Metroid is absolutely fantastic, and yeah, Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart, yeah, so many fantastic games. Ah, wow! Look at this thing. Chrono Trigger! How could I forget Chrono Trigger? Yes, Chrono Trigger. Oh my god, that is really, really No, how can I forget Flashback? You know how I can forget Flashback? Because it was on other platforms that did it better. Flashback was a great concept, but it used polygon-based animation, which meant it was drawing little polygons for the stuff. It was really smooth, rotoscoped animation, but the problem was the Super Nintendo's CPU was actually an 8-bit processor. It was really pretty slow. The CPU on the Super Nintendo was terrible, and so any game that was bound by the CPU performance was going to be terrible. And Flashback just looked awful when you got to some of the sections with lots of characters. I love Flashback. It was a great game, but it was definitely better on other platforms. No, I'm sorry. I don't think any of the Sonic games were any good. I don't think any of the Sonic games, but the Starflight, that is one of the reasons that I would play a Mega Drive game, is because the Starflight version is really cool. I'm a big fan of the original Starflight, and I did do a really good series. The Seiko Genesis has the same CPU as the Atari ST, which I programmed for many years, and the Amiga, although the Amiga version is underclocked compared to the Atari ST. Okay, let's just do this then. Okay, so I think this is going to work. Save launch. Let's do this. That's right. No, I bought this Flashback sequel on the PlayStation. I did actually get that, and I played it and completed it, and then took it back to the store saying that I had got it as a present, and it wasn't. I was a bad person. Okay, so I need to figure out how to get a direct transfer. What I'm going to do is throw this thing into orbit. Did I play NES Space Shuttle? No, I have not played NES Space Shuttle. Okay, so first thing, SAS, and we're going to throttle, and I'm really, oh, should do that. Wasting a few seconds of fuel there. Yeah, I was... Okay, I mean... I am certainly not going to advocate pirating modern games, and I feel really bad for what I did in the past. I'm going to admit that I did pirate a few games in the past, and I feel that I feel terrible about it. Which is probably why I throw money at games that I will probably never ever play. It's just what I am now. Okay, we're trying to get these things up. Altitude, orbit. So we're going to just go into orbit first. So I was at the Video Game Museum in Oakland, and they actually have the Space Shuttle game on the Atari 2600 that I want to try. Not because I think it's good, but because I think it's dubiously awesome. Ah, man. Okay, Apple probably needs to get a little higher before I finish this. Look at it go! So, this is the time that we're caring about. Yeah, I throw money at Humble Bundle sales mostly because I believe in supporting people that are making indie games. I don't play half the games. I will actually listen to the music in the music bundles, and that's one of the reasons why I love Danny Baranowski and Chipzo and all these people. Mad props to every single one of them. Anybody making music for video games, I have a lot of respect for. I find it very disappointing that Rob Hubbard was dropped from the Star Citizen soundtrack. He was originally named as the guy that was involved, but I think the current music is fantastic, but I just feel ashamed that Martin Galway. Sorry, what am I saying? Well, Rob Hubbard, though, does some classic tunes. Okay, my apoapsis is now high enough. We're going to get into orbit, and then we'll try to figure out how to actually go from this orbit to Eve as quickly as possible. You pre-ordered Pure Solar for Mega Drive. Wow. Yeah, I never had any of the Atari 8-bit computers, but I got an Atari ST, and I'm quite happy with it. Uh-oh. Okay, you know what the problem is? Okay, here's the problem. Probe is out of power. Oh, yes, that's hilarious. Oh, the calamity. Oh, the drama. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, 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 dear. Yeah, I'm going to put some solar panels on this thing. Oh. The beer is clearly kicking in at this point. Let's actually I'm going to put some batteries. Or should I put batteries, or I'll just put solar panels on the exterior? Let's do the OX stat. There we go. I know you tried to warn us about the batteries. I know. The objective is to try and get to Eve in the shortest time, and I'm setting a baseline, and I expect other people to try and do it faster and faster, because you know what? That's what people do. People are very good at playing Kerbal Space Program better than me. They're not necessarily better at actually doing degrees in physics and astronomy, but many people do degrees in physics and astronomy better than me. And that's awesome. In fact, there are many people that have actual PhDs in physics and astronomy and stuff. Because, you know, I got distracted. I got distracted, and I'm trying to read chat at the same time as flying a rocket. Yeah, you see, here's the thing, like console games, I really don't have any attachment to console games prior to the Super Nintendo. Like, I generally thought that they were still developing, and I don't feel that any of them are classics that are worth my time anymore. I mean, that's... And I'll say that I set my kids up with a 2600 emulator, and they were playing Frogger, and they loved it. I thought the Frogger port was terrible. I think it's funny, though, that Orion will frequently mention E.T. and Pac-Man on the Atari 2600 as, like, punchlines to jokes, which is, like... How do you get that at 10 years old? He doesn't know how terrible the 2600 was. I mean, the guy across the street from me, a guy called Colin, who ended up being really good at golf for a while, yeah, he had an Atari 2600. And I remember we played Asteroids, and he would just get stupidly high scores because there was only so much you could do with Asteroids. There we go. Getting red hot. Hopefully these solar panels won't melt off while we're doing this. And we're in orbit. Oh. There we go. We're going to keep that up. 98 kilometers. Oh, you know what? I'm going to keep the engines running just a bit to keep us on message. Battletech. Now, there is a board game that I played a whole lot. Actually, technically, I probably spent more time designing vehicles and stuff for Battletech than I did actually playing the game, but, you know, that's just how it is, right? Loved Battletech. Would I ever consider doing a video on space engineers? I do videos on space engineers all the time, but guess what? There are people that do space engineers videos way better than me, and I am embarrassed at how terrible my space engineers content is compared to these individuals. Seriously, like, there's multible Bloxel-based building games, and StarMade, Space Engineers, Empyrean actually has been getting a lot of attention lately after No Man's Lie, which isn't really fair because, you know, Sean Murray basically has Chris Roberts disease, where he doesn't want to disappoint anyone and say that a feature won't be in the game, and that's fine if you have $120 million. It's not necessarily fine if you're working with a 5-man team out of Guildford. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, no, these games that use block-based building, I'm terrible at them. I just don't have the patience. At least with Kerbal Space Program, I can see how the physics and everything works, so yeah. There is a Battletech-based video game coming out. It's a Kickstarter, and I backed it. There's also MechWarrior Online, which is a cluster F of epic proportions. The only thing more messed up that game company did is Transverse. The Transverse. Wow. Wow. I mean, yes. Just remember, for everything bad about Kickstarters, there's Transverse. Right? Like, that was an example of the worst possible Kickstarter thing ever. Okay, let's deploy this. Oh, it's so beautiful. Yes, the gold max. It is so terrible. I'm embarrassed by the awfulness of, yeah. I'm so glad I never got into Mech Warrior Online, because oh my god. Infocom. I remember the first BattleTech computer game I played was the Infocom one. Also, I note. Oh, wait a sec. What was it? Like Winchell Chung, he posted a Kickstarter update about Ogre getting a new digital version, because Ogre, of course, is this classic Steve Jackson board game with hexes and things like that. Someone's talking about making a modern computer version, and there was an old computer version which was really well received, like on the Atari ST, Commodore 64, and everything else. Yeah. Okay, we're just going to go into orbit here. I'm going to pause the rotation. Was it... I'm actually getting... I can feel the inebriation kicking in, pardon me. Let's just fire those engines now. Just wait for the periaps to rise above the atmosphere, and then we'll figure out what the old Infocom games you can play through really, really quickly. But yeah, I love Infocom games. Here's a fun story. Do you know what happened to Infocom? Does anybody know what actually happened to Infocom without looking up Wikipedia? Right. So Infocom, they made some of the greatest text interactive fiction games ever. They made The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, they made several Zork games, Leather Goddess of Phobos, and a great deal many more that are worth playing. Set as target. Okay, so what I think I need to do is kind of go inwards and cut inside its orbit. There we go. Add maneuver. So we're going to do like a super fast trajectory. Actually, you know what I have to do is like this. Yes, that's what's going to work. Maybe this. Oh, you know what? Oh, wait. I can bring out the maneuver node editor. That will make things 1,000,000 times easier. Well, approximately 1,000,000 times easier. Okay, so first of all, we're just going to increase the velocity as we're doing this. Actually, I need to do like 1,000. 3,000. Okay, so wait a second. I have about 4,000 kilometers per second. So for this initial burn, that's the way I want to do it. Now we're going to adjust the time. All right, see this? Oh, look at that. See how we're getting closer? So by adjusting the departure time... Okay, so that's maybe where we're going to aim for the encounter, right? So we're going to sneak around inside of them there. I think that might just work. This is not a moho trip. No. Actually, I think this is the best way to do it, right? What we'll do is we'll fly around here, and then we do actually need some... you know what? We can do the inclination adjustment on the way there, but I think if I... Maybe I do this. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, look at this. Right, and so then I can just like focus on making it faster, right? I think that's pretty good. I think this will work. So it's going to take 54 minutes. Actually, now what I need to do is boost up my... Okay, so the next thing... Okay, let's do that. So 15 minutes, and then we get 4 minutes of burn time. Okay, so next thing to do is has the sun set yet? The sun is about to set, so I'm going to aim towards the maneuver node, and then watch my battery power. Watch my battery power. I'm going to turn like this. Turn. We're going to Eve, and we're going to go in hot. We're going to go in super fast. We're going to come in super hot. Super hot. It's not really a speed run. It's just like, hey, what happens if we go to Eve as quickly as possible? It's not really a speed run, I guess. Oh, you got a chance to see an iridium flare. Yes. It's not really ludicrous speed, put it that way. Has anyone saw my comment on Twitter about the new P100 Tesla Model S that does 0 to 60 miles an hour in 2.6 seconds? If you do the math, it takes 2.7 seconds to go to 100 miles an hour. Oh, sorry. Not to 60 in 2.7 seconds is the equivalent of dropping a car from a plane or a helicopter or something like that. Eve or bust rehash. An iridium flare is where an iridium or a satellite of any description angles its solar panels just right so that it reflects the sun from the panels into your eyes. And so you'll see a very faint satellite, and then suddenly you'll get a super bright satellite. So, in short, it's pretty cool shit. Pardon me. What's the worst game I've ever played? Oh, wow. The worst game I've ever played on my channel easily was that dumb reverse XCOM Isomer. And that I put lots of warnings in that video saying, if these guys continue to develop it, it could be cool. Otherwise, it will be terrible and please don't buy it. And guess what? They didn't continue to develop it. So, yeah. Worst game I've ever played, though, man. That's a hard one because there's so many terrible games that I have no attachment to. I'll tell you what, the worst book I've ever read was probably a William Shatner Tech World book. Not that I don't like William Shatner, but man, Tech War was terrible. All those tech things were terrible. I'm sorry. I read the first Tech War in a total of 3 hours. That's how light it was. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Fire! Bum, 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 bum. Oh, wait, we're actually close to the surface here. Should I I'm going to wait until I'm slightly more. The worst... Here's the thing. Okay, someone's asking, what's the worst song I've ever listened to? And William Shatner is probably up there. By the way, we can't actually fire the engines because we don't have any solar panels, so we're going to have to wait for the sun to rise. Anyway... Okay, there we go. Now we're going to fire the engines. And we're going to start firing this here. Okay, worst song ever. Definitely William Shatner stuff is up there. But here's the thing. I don't think the question should be what is the worst song ever, because I actually love really bad music. There are huge amounts of utterly mediocre music, which doesn't even have the benefit of being really bad. There's like punk records where the guys, like halfway through the song, they kind of just stop and say, wow, we really suck. And those are vastly more interesting to listen to than totally mediocre pop music album tracks, right? The kind of padding that gets thrown on records to make sure that it's a long enough album. And I have to be careful. I got to be careful on this because one of my favorite tracks ever was a record that was like written to pad out an album. Fine example is Cyndi Lauper's "Time After Time," which was like written at the last minute, very very quickly, and is easily the best thing that she has ever recorded. Like, and she's recorded some great tunes, but that is my favorite tune ever by Cyndi Lauper, and I've, mad props to her and everything, even although she's doing the whole My Way by Sid Vicious. It is a terrible version of My Way, but it's so listenable because it's so bad. I love it. I love it. So yeah, mediocre records, god, I mean, if you forget about the record, that's a sign that it's mediocre and just not worth listening to. There, I have opinions about all sorts of music in so many ways. I'm a bit of an elitist, let's say. Oh man. Yeah, Cyndi Lauper was like talented individual. Florence. I know about the movie. Apparently, Orion wants to see that movie as well, which is interesting. That he would want to see a movie about that. Mark Ellsberg's Blackout. I haven't read that. I guess I just don't have. No, that's the thing. I go to. So they've just opened the San Francisco MoMA. And, hey, Shujin Tribble, hi, how are you? I'm sorry I can never get on your show because, it just happens, I guess. He runs, radio show for his kind of people. But yeah, I work near the MoMA, the SF MoMA, and sure, I go there every now and then. I've got a membership, and I see so many things in there. I was like, this isn't art. And then I realize, oh wait, it's made me feel something, therefore it is art. But yeah, seriously, I don't know what the most average of mediocre songs is. The point is that if I can't think what it is, it's really mediocrity at a level beyond that which is worth talking about. There we go. Are these radiators working? The radiators are in fact working. Okay. So now let's see how we're doing. Okay, so that's a kind of a short trip, right? So I'm just going to kind of keep burning out of the sphere of influence. That's what I'm going to do here. Where am I actually? I'm just basically going that way, huh? I'm just going to pick up like a ton of speed now, just kind of going forwards just for a little while. So it says 53 minutes, which means I need to kind of apply time acceleration because I can't even burn this engine continuously for the amount of time I have left. So I have to do it manually. I should probably pay attention to my thermal status because odds are thermal status will result in me failing, and I like the fact that I'm oscillating like something crazy. Okay, let's do that. My oscillation powers are are legendary. Yeah, I'm a big fan of John Peel, and John Peel would always say, "You listen, you're gonna hear, and if you listen to a John Peel show, you'll hear one song that you really like." And will change your life, and another song that you will hate with every fiber of your being. And I would agree with that, and I love them both. I can love music that makes me hate. That's just my nature. I have so much music which is just yeah. Do I like the Myst games? So here's the thing, I never really grew up with the Myst games. I never had the CD-ROM or anything, so Myst for me is mediocrity in video games, but I know a lot of people love that. They love the 7th Guest and the 11th Hour and all that something. It's like, yeah. Shujin Tribble is saying he still uses my greeting on his show, and I'm grateful for that. I'm glad that I still contribute in some way to other people's, well-being or whatever. Okay, is my closest approach is actually going up because I think actually what I need to do is be burning in this direction. I'm gonna burn about 3 kilometers per second. I'm gonna burn in this, so I'm now burning at 90 degrees to my original burn. That was a terrible decision, but the close approach distance is actually decreasing, so I'm doing the right thing. Let's do this. I'm just gonna totally eyeball this thing. Do I consider Star Fox 64? And I will say I've never played Star Fox 64. So my Nintendo 64 was kind of a weak spot in my Nintendo career. I got GoldenEye, Super Mario 64, and a Perfect Dark, which is absolutely fantastic. I've no problems recommending the amazingness that is Perfect Dark, but yeah, never did Star Fox 64. Okay, you know what? I'm going to slow this down, bring out my rendezvous planner. I honestly think at this point, maybe what I should do is cut my thrust and then we'll fly out into interplanetary space. Yeah, well, Spock is special. Besides, he had the nuclear vessels helping him, right? Just kidding. No, they used the energy from the nuclear vessels to recrystallize lithium crystals or something like that. Yes. Okay. So let's actually set up a new course correction. And 4 hours time. What can we do for this? Oh wait, time until closest approach. You know what? Oh, separation at closest approach. Let's see what that says. If I just fire the engine here. Let's just do that. Oh, cancel. There we go. Fire the engine. Yes, my closest approach distance is decreasing. Yes! Oh man, wait, they're computing the wrong closest approach here. That may not be ideal. So this is kind of in the wrong place. I think what I need to do, add maneuver. Let's do this. I'm making sound effects. Okay, there we go. So actually, yeah, I should definitely do this. Oh, why is my engines firing? Oh, my engines are still firing. That's a bad mistake. Okay, so down. Let's put that node near here. I think that's a good place to aim for. That's only going to take 1 kilometer per second of delta V. Man, I'm being far too conservative here. In fact, my arrival time, closest approach, and that's my target. Wait a second, that's target position, so I need to go faster. That's fine. Okay, so let's make this faster. And then I need radial inwards. Oh, what the deuce? What the heck was that? Oh, of course, that's me getting into hyperbolic orbit. That's what's going on there. Favorite VR game would have to be Elite Dangerous because it's immersive and everything, but it isn't really. I mean, it doesn't make you motion sick because of the whole cockpit effect thing. Oh, there we go. So that's me getting there in 41. Wait a second. 10 days? That's pretty good. And that gives me... I could actually stop there. Wow. Okay, so let's actually see if I can get there sooner. So I'm just building up speed here. 9 kilometers per second of velocity I'm getting. And that's got the encounter down to 7 days. There we go. 6 days, and we're using 6 kilometers per second of delta V. That'll give me 3 to fight to do like last minute course corrections. And I think I'm just going to use the 6 kilometers per second I have and get there, because I might need to make some serious corrections here. There we go. Eve Periaps is 36,000. Probably need to adjust that just a teensy amount. Okay, get that back. 7,000. Oh. Okay, I'm just going to take this burn and make it happen, right? Number 1, make this burn. Make this burn happen. 16 hours. Ah, screw it. I can make the burn now. Okay, this is going to take a while. No, this is the idea. We're going to do aero braking at very high velocities. Yeah, I mean, well, Frontier is actually... It's not that they don't care, it's that there's this bug related to super sampling, which is very disappointing that they haven't fixed, to be honest. It's a weird problem between hardware and software. Do I feel a bit missing the 300? So yeah, there was in Elite Dangerous. I Am So Insane is asking if I was lamenting the fact that I missed out a ridiculously high Elite Dangerous mission payout. And yes, I do. But then again, it's not like I'm hurting for money. I mean, sure, it'd be nice to have one of these very expensive starships that are like the... I don't know, like the Cutter or something. But frankly, I play Elite. I'm not that desperate to pick up huge amounts of money. That's really what happens. Honestly, if I really wanted money, I would be like emailing David Braben and saying, "Hey, dude, can you like give me some money so I can review your game better?" And they'd be like, "Sure." Right? I mean, that's what happens. I'm not that desperate. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying like my current ASP. I don't feel a huge desire to like grind for hours and hours and hours to get the best and of most magic awesomeness. But Flung Fist keeps commenting about how he was camping my stream, and when I started, I scared the crap out of him. So you've said this dozens of times, so I'm going to finally acknowledge you. Thank you, Flung Fist. May you please share a Pliny with me. Pliny. Yes, Pliny the Elder. Here's me thinking I was going to play some other game, but hey, we're doing this instead. Yeah, I'm going to have enough exploration data when I get home to rank up seriously with both Elvira Martok and Felicity Farseer to, level 5. And I really should probably get my Empire and Federation rank up, because I kind of like the Empire ships. They're kind of cool. They look like, I like them, because I'm a terrible person. Also, I trade slaves all the time. And they are just digital slaves, let's be clear on this. Top 5 games of all time. Portal, Kerbal Space Program, EVE Online. Then I have to think hard. I'm going to say Final Fantasy VI. Final Fantasy VI brought me so much joy. But man, oh god, there's so many other games that could go in that last one. I mean, yeah, wow. Wow. Is there something you would love for base Kerbal Space Program to have at this point? Yeah, I wish base Kerbal Space Program would have infernal robotics. Basically would have mechanical parts, because I think that would hugely increase the amount of things that could happen. The Fallout games are great. Fallout 3 is weak. Fallout 4, I hear, is not. Oh, Deus Ex! Yes! The original Deus Ex is definitely up there as one of the best games ever. I'm that's what I'm gonna say. Since I guess I have Portal. Yeah, I think that will work. All of these games are very, very different. Let's be clear. Have I played Cassini Division? No, I haven't. Is that where you are part of an Italian, division called Cassini? What are we trying to talk about here? Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, obviously, another mod that I would definitely think would be cool to have would be the what do you say? The graphics update that I've got here. Yeah, the graphics update on Kerbin would be huge. I've often advocate for those. A NetHack. NetHack is one of the greatest games ever. How could I possibly forget NetHack? Infinite Warfare. I'm sorry, I am looking forward to Infinite Warfare. There's so many, here's the thing. If you look at all these video game Kickstarters for spaceship games, there's threads where people discuss all the awesome stuff they would love to do in their games of choice. And if you look at that Infinite Warfare trailer, the one where they're going into the ship and they're tearing off masks and using grappling hooks and shooting people with spear guns and then opening airlocks and blowing out bridges and evacuating the combat deck and turning off the gravity, all that stuff is what people say on Kickstarter forums when they're discussing what they want in their awesome games, right? So Infinite Warfare is like they read the forums of all these crowdfunded games and they took all the stuff that people had said they wanted and they're putting it in a AAA shooter. So I think this is really funny because there's a ton of these games. FTL is also one of my favorite games. We all know Infinite Warfare will be terrible, but the set pieces will be fantastic. Also, speaking of set pieces, Resident Evil 4 is also one of my favorite games ever. Of all time, ever. Wipeout 2097, right, that's on the original PlayStation. Definitely worth playing. Chrono Trigger, oh man, how can I say no to Chrono Trigger? I'm not really a fan of first-person shooters. I'm not very good at first-person shooters. And I'm really bad at using joypads, gamepads, yeah, no, not gonna be any good at that. I wonder if we can see Eve. I should have probably turned on distant object enhancement, right? Silent Hill 2. Yeah, I don't know, I never really got into the Silent Hill games. Okay. Yeah, I think you will definitely, the cool stuff in Infinite Warfare will almost certainly be things like quick time events. Either that, or you will just get bored after ripping the respirator off the 100th random trooper. What I did see though was that the space combat sections weren't on rails and they did use proper spacecraft physics. So they were all 6 Degree of Freedom flying shooter and you can strafe around and everything. So that actually works. It makes sense if you're coming from a first-person shooter background that would work. System Shock, that's another great game. And I gotta say, I really like Mass Effect games, but I think the problem is that Mass Effect 1 had the best story, and 2 and 3 vastly improved on the mechanics, but the story got weaker with each iteration. So it's hard to name Mass Effect as a favored game. Oh, Area 51. Yeah, that's a fun coin op. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're almost there. Yeah, I don't play the Arma games. Okay. Almost here. Crypt of the Necrodancer. Yep, that's a real favorite right now. But actually, I'm going to say for music games, I'm sorry, Rock Band. Rock Band is one of the greatest games you can play with your friends in the same room. Crusader Kings 2, definitely something which could involve uh, a lot of time and a lot of great stories. The stories, if you can tell stories about a game, it is a good game. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, almost. Right, so that's us flying there. And we're going to get there in 5 days. That's pretty good. And the sun periaps is... No, sorry, wait. Even counter. We've got to get the periaps figured out, right? So, next thing. Eve periaps, 18,000. So, let's get another maneuver set up. Not in 6 minutes. No. 1 hour? Maybe let's set another maneuver up in 1 hour. Let me bring back my maneuver node editor. I should F5 this, right? Let's do that. Dwarf Fortress. Okay, so actually Dwarf Fortress, you're right, is one of these games that you can make stories about. But I am going to admit that I've never really had the time to play that. And I've read a lot of other people's stories. So that's kind of where I come from. And by the same token, Space Station 13. Space Station 13 has a special place. And by special place, I mean special forces, right? Why is my periaps not going down? Okay, that's wrong. Why isn't the number decreasing? Okay, you know what? This is interesting. There's a bug. There's a bug. Okay, so I need to do this. Screw that. Okay. Man. Eve encounter. Well, it appears that the distance, the periaps distance, doesn't upgrade. I should just focus on this, shouldn't I? Focus view. That'll help. There we go. So that's us. We're going to be flying past it. So now I need to find out where I've left my thing. It's right there. There it is. Look how close it is. It's almost like we're getting here super fast. Okay, so bring the distance. Oh, the distance goes down. Distance. There we go. 15,000, 13, 4,000. That's right. We're gonna come in fast. We'll do it on the daylight side, because we need solar power, right? I'm wondering how fast I'll be moving there. That would be a kind of useful thing to have, to be honest, is the speed at which you will be moving when you encounter Eve. Okay, there we go. And that is 67 kilometers. We're going to do it deeper than that. Oh, 37 meters per second. Man, I have so much delta V left. Okay, so turn this thing to point in the right direction. Monitor my power and everything consumption. We're doing fine there. So it says 1 hour and 23 minutes, so I shall indeed run time forward. Have you ever thought about playing Eve Space Program mod? I haven't. I think I talked about it. Okay, here we go. Let's just do this. I'm going to actually throttle down, because I want to make sure I get as close as possible to a perfect encounter. Eve atmosphere is so high, it 420 blazes every day. Yeah. Not that I approve, or sorry, not that I condone such actions, but it is a free country. Okay. Let's do this. Huh. Oh, sorry, I should zoom out. I'm zooming out in the wrong place. I'm going to warp. Eve escape. Warp to here. I'm catching up on you. Yes! Some people take like a week to go. It is expensive, but I'm just saying, freedom is a thing. It's kind of an important thing. And zip, 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 zip. Okay, now we're going to cross the threshold. We should be able to see this thing. There it is there. There is Eve. Now, wonder whether we will be able to survive descent at this velocity. Of course, if I switch to target velocity, it shows 0 because there is a bug in the game that I've reported in every single iteration for the past 2 years and they still haven't fixed. In fact, the bug has been closed even although it's not been fixed. So I'm going to say once again, there is a bug in your game, squad. Fix it. Just kidding. I love you guys. But fix your bugs. Seriously. Fix your bugs. Okay, I'm gonna do. Why is target? Velocity, surface, orbit. Aim towards the target. It's straight down. So I think if I point here. Oh crap. Point here, and then very carefully, we're just gonna put this down. So that it goes through 0, essentially, right? Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to keep that. I'm going to F5 this. We're coming in at 9 kilometers per second. So we've saved this. I'm really curious as to whether this will work. So I'm going to point this spacecraft retrograde. And then when we get closer, I'm going to fire. I'm going to jettison the thing, and then we'll see how it does, right? So let's warp here. So we've saved it. Oh, I should be watching this thing, right? Whoa, here's us coming in. Now we're going to jettison. Decouple. There we go. Inflate. This is going to be so cool. So over under 9 kilometers per second, do you think this will survive? Well, see, here's the thing. I want to know whether the 3 kilometers per second will make a difference. That's why I quick saved. If not, I can reload and I can go in faster. So I've got like 3 kilometers of margin that I can work with. It's a probe, so... Oh, here's the problem, actually. Let's flip it around prograde just for now. Because... turns out that we're in shadow. So I need to wait until we're closer still. How about here? Okay, great. Ah, there we go. Come on. Make sure you're in the light. No, you're in the dark again. We're sort of getting light. It's not really clear. Are we getting light or not? Man, it's in a superposition of light and dark states. It's not sure whether we're actually getting light or not. Let's see what happens. Oh, look at that. We must be hitting the atmosphere soon. Whoa! Yeah, okay. So we kind of knew that was going to happen. Okay, so... good thing is we can reload it. We can at least burn off 3 kilometers per second of delta V, right? That's what we can do. It's going to take 8 minutes to do that. And then the trick will be doing this so that we can, in such a way that we still have a periaps that's sufficiently high. It is like hitting a wall. I figured that maybe there was a chance it would slow down sufficiently fast that we could do something. So I guess... what I'm going to do is to this, and we'll start doing that. I notice that my periaps is actually rising in this attitude, so that's probably a good sign. Where is it? What is the time? Hold on. Time to periaps is 2 hours, so we should actually wait until we get down closer to periaps. It's going to take 8 minutes. So we'll wait until we're down to about 10 minutes to go, perhaps. And then that should buy us enough time. $49, $40. This is going to take so long. Come on, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Okay, so now this is where we're going to start the burn. There we go. Okay, now I need to adjust my orbit so that we don't end up going in too fast. So if my orbit gets too low, or my periaps gets too low, then we need to adjust the attitude. And this is going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take 8 minutes, so time accelerate. Again, I'm going to have both fingers on the keyboard at this point. Maybe I want to hit at higher attitude. Maybe that is possible as well. I don't really know, but it looked like we just burned up because we were going too darn fast. Right? That's also possible. Oh, crap, 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 crap. Come back, come back. There, look. Okay, it looks like we're going to be hitting at a higher altitude now. Just because I am a bad. Schroeder just open up a port. What? Both fingers? No, both hands. Look at all those fingers there. Jazz hands. Right. I can do the magic ravey dance. See? Look, I am hypnotizing you. See? I bet you that totally broke the video encoding, because that kind of stuff is what video encoders hate. They hate jazz hands. Jazz hands are actually incredibly hard to render because of their multiple layers. I'm not going to hit atmosphere at this rate. No, we're going to totally hit it at this rate. You think 60 kilometers is a good altitude for this? Seriously? Okay. Shujin Tribble is absolutely saying, please hit it at like 60. Okay, we're going to do that. Mission elapsed time is 6 days. I would not be writing mission statements if I was if I ran NASA. Oh, careful. Okay, and notice that our time to periaps is still decreasing despite our best efforts. But the good news is we're probably not going to hit quite as fast. And if that fails us, well, whatever. I'm wondering whether I should actually turn on cheats here at this point. Let's make the time acceleration a little higher. I'm still gaining speed, but I'm doing the... This is the best I can do, right? We need to make sure we burn off all our fuel, and we can't be too close to the spacecraft when the fuel runs out. Or rather, when we start entering. Just want to make sure. I'm just wondering what the odds are. I mean, I remember one of my early videos, I returned to Kerbin at like 19 kilometers per second. And it was really cool. But the game doesn't let you do that anymore. The game is just too brutal for high velocities. There's no way to really do it. If you stack heat shields, it doesn't really make a difference. The maximum temperature still gets you and kill you. So I'm kind of disappointed that there's no way to build the Galileo atmosphere probe. I'm not using cheats. There's no cheats on here. We could use cheats, but I'm not going to use cheats just yet. We will use cheats at some point. If this fails, we will cheat the stuff for the maximum amount of cheatingness. Okay. Oh, Trucks McGruff is saying hello, greetings from Bonnie, Scotland. Well, greetings from Golden, California. Or something like that. Okay, here we go. And burnout. Now I'm going to hold that attitude. Now, next. Time to periapse is 6 minutes, right? So the next thing we're going to do, bring up this. I'm going to decouple. I think I'm just going to F5 because I need to get to bed. Decouple. Oh, beautiful. So let's see if this thing hits the atmosphere. So I'm gonna not deploy the heat shield until just before encounter because the heat shield seems to shade the solar panels, and we want to make sure we have power for that. Okay, time to periapse. 4 minutes. 3 minutes 50. Oh dear. The altitude. Oh, whoa! What the heck? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Okay, now is the time. I'm gonna deploy the heat shield. Look at this. I'm gonna save it. I don't care. If we can't slow down at this point, then it's clear that we're going beyond the limits the system can ever manage. And we're just gonna watch this in real time. Sleep is for the weak and for people that need to get their kids to school in the morning. This is very weird the way this is rotating. Like, I think it looks to me like the cloud patterns are moving in the wrong direction. Okay, we must be getting close to hitting... Oh, now it's changed again. Scatterer clearly needs a bit of work. Let me feel the G-forces. Let me feel the force. This is where we find out that we're going too fast. And yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Okay, so F9 to reload. Yes, Shujin Tribble, they are quoting Airplane. I just want you to know, we're all counting on you. Okay, ignore max temperature, because I think the max temperature implementation is hacky and terrible, and is bad physics, so I don't have any problem in disabling that. Okay, look, you see, now we've got some real scientific re-entry going on. Look at the G-forces here. And we get captured. Brilliant! Of course, that thing would have dissolved by now. Oh, man. Yeah, I think max temperature is a terrible hack that fails in so many ways. That's what I'm going to say. And needs to be fixed. It's just not cool. Nobody thinks it's cool. Okay, so that's 6 days and 5 hours to get to Eve. I think I can probably do better, and people can probably do better and return. And I also suspect that people can do that better without cheating. Now, this is where we let the time warp actually happen. I wonder how long it will take to fall to the ground. There, surface velocity. Oh, don't you dare fall out of control here. I think this thing is unstable, and it will take a really long time to fall down. Okay, let's just do this. It's a wobbly. It is it is stock visual enhancements. So it's not running anything special except scatter and stock visual enhancements. Does this mean you were right with it was a mod screw up? No, I don't know. I think 60 kilometers was a good bet. But I think that the way maximum temperature is implemented in Kerbal Space Program is a little dubious. Ugh. Yeah, this is going to take a really long time to fall to the surface like this. Yeah, it's Scott visual enhancements. It makes me look far prettier than I actually am. That's what happens when Sky comes along and says, "Hey daddy, I need to give you a pedicure because you have old man feet." It doesn't matter if it spins out of control at this altitude. We have a parachute attached to it. "50 kilometers." Yeah, our speed is now about 100 kilometers per hour. No, I'm wanting to see how slow the heat shield is. That's why I'm not deflating it. I'm actually enjoying wafting down slowly. Am I still playing EVE Online? Not really, except for every now and then when I'm setting up bounties on people, and that's about it. Falling through the clouds. What is my altitude? My true altitude is 8.7 kilometers. It's going to take a while to get there. I suspect that we might be able to land this thing without actually deploying the parachute. I kind of want to F5 it and see if that'll work. JJ, RIP Goons, I don't suppose you've actually been looking at the game recently? Because people that are still celebrating the death of the Goons are poorly informed, let's say. It's pretty funny. I think I hear rain outside. Surely not. Yeah, I'm going to just check something. Okay, just checking Dotlan. And top soft changes. In the last week, Goon Swarm has gained 6 systems. Oh, and we're flipping out of control. Now, sovereignty is up. Yes, there we go. You see, we should do this. I'm going to slow this down. See, now it's spinning faster. Let me just do something. Monitor mode. And let me bring in this. Look at this. For those of you that were all excited about Goon Swarm being wiped out, oops, it appears you were wrong. Look at all that sovereignty and outposts. Yeah. All that hard work for nothing, huh? Anyway, as I was saying, shall we see if this thing will land safely? I thought it was a time warp thing originally, but no, this thing spins this fast anyway. I'm going to turn off stability control. What about my altitude? My altitude is here. 1 kilometers. I want to see if it'll land safely without the parachute. Since it's spinning around and it has a big inflatable bouncy thing next to it. You never know, it might survive. You think it will explode everything? I have no idea what it will do. This is pretty hilarious. This is pretty funny. No, I don't have RCS doesn't really matter because there's no reaction control system on this thing. If I could have just held it stable, then I could survive. Perhaps. I want to see. I've saved it. We'll see if it lands safely. 2. What? Yay! No parachute needed. Oh, yeah, you want to do it like that. I was about to say, oh no, it's going to land the wrong way up. 6 days, 6 hours, and only a couple of cheats. Okay, guys, I have to say farewell because I get stuff going. I gotta go to sleep. thing's going to happen, and you're not going to get to see any other games tonight because that's just what happens. See you all. Be cool. Fly safe. And I'm going to be like, fly safe. Fly safe.